slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help.
Lacing up their shoes. Imagine 18th century Britain, powdered wigs, stuffy drawing rooms, and polite conversation about the horrors of slavery? You bet. The abolitionist movement, once a whisper, was becoming a roar. People from all walks of life joined the cause. Preachers with fire in their bellies, writers with pens sharper than swords, and everyday folks who knew injustice when they saw it. They organized. They wrote pamphlets and books exposing the cruelty of the slave trade. They held public meetings, filling town squares with passionate speeches that moved hearts and minds. Think of it as 18th century social media, minus the trolls, well, fewer trolls. They even organized boycotts, urging people to ditch their sugar in their tea if it meant taking a stand against slavery. Talk about a sugar rush for social justice. This growing movement wasn't just about changing laws, it was about changing hearts and minds, and it worked. Slowly but surely, public opinion began to shift. People started to see the humanity in those who had been dehumanized for so long. The tide was turning, and the powers that be couldn't ignore it any longer. The fight was far from over, but the abolitionists had landed a punch. Every good story needs its heroes, and the fight against slavery had a cast worthy of a blockbuster film. One name that echoes through history is William Wilberforce, a member of Parliament with a voice that could melt hearts and sway votes. He was the face of the abolitionist movement in Parliament, tirelessly introducing bill after bill to abolish the slave trade. But Wilberforce wasn't alone. Equiano, a former slave who bought his own freedom, became a powerful voice for abolition. His autobiography, a searing account of his experiences, opened eyes and challenged prejudices. Imagine the courage it took to not only escape slavery, but to then dedicate your life to ending it for others. And let's not forget the countless others. Women like Hannah More and Elizabeth Hyrick, who mobilized public opinion, and Granville Sharp, who fought tirelessly for the rights of slaves on British soil. These were ordinary people who did extraordinary things, driven by a belief in the fundamental equality of all human beings. They were the backbone of the movement, proving that even in the face of overwhelming odds, a dedicated group of individuals can change the world. For true equality was far from over. Section 5. Freedom's Chorus, freed slaves raised their voices. Imagine finally tasting freedom after a lifetime of forced labor and unimaginable cruelty. Now just imagine having the strength to not only savor that freedom, but to dedicate yourself to ensuring others experience it too. That's exactly what countless freed slaves did. They joined the abolitionist movement, their voices adding a powerful moral authority to the cause. People like Mary Prince, whose harrowing autobiography moved hearts and minds, and Equiano, who eloquently challenged the racist ideologies used to justify slavery. These were the voices of lived experience, voices that simply could not be ignored. They spoke at public meetings, wrote articles, and campaigned tirelessly for full emancipation and equality for all. Their stories challenged the narratives of those who sought to downplay the horrors of slavery. They were living proof of the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of hope, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. Section 6. Abolition's Echo, Lessons from a Long Struggle. The abolition of slavery in the British Empire was, without a doubt, a watershed moment in human history. It wasn't a perfect victory, and the fight for true equality continues to this day, but it marked a turning point in the global fight against oppression. The echoes of this struggle can be felt in every movement for social justice that followed. The abolitionist movement teaches us the power of collective action, of raising our voices and demanding change. It shows us that even deeply entrenched systems of oppression can be dismantled when people come together to fight for what's right. But it also reminds us that the fight for justice is ongoing. We see the legacy of abolition in the civil rights movement, the fight for LGBTQ+ rights, and the ongoing struggle for racial justice around the world. The fight for equality is a marathon, not a sprint, and the baton is passed down through generations. Section 7. The ongoing fight from past to present. So, there you have it. The story of how slavery met its match in the British Empire. It's a story of courage, resilience, and the unwavering belief in the fundamental equality of all human beings. But it's not a story confined to the history books. The fight for social justice is far from over. From modern-day slavery and human trafficking to systemic racism and discrimination, the echoes of the past remind us that the struggle for a just and equitable world continues. We can draw inspiration from the abolitionists of the past, from their unwavering commitment to justice and their belief in the power of collective action. The fight for freedom is a relay race, and honestly, we all have a part to play. Let's honor the legacy of the abolitionists by continuing the fight for a world where every single person is treated with dignity and respect.